If you're feeling behind in life,
What if maybe you should? Maybe this is exactly what you need to hear right now. In fact, I think after watching this video, you'll feel pretty pumped. We're entering the last quarter of the year, and looking at the goals you set, are you where you want to be? Are you? Oh, damn. I'm not here to tell you, hey, don't compare yourself, just think positive. No, what if you actually are behind based on where you want to be and where you currently are? Personally, I'm very far off. I think there's a storm coming. So I booked this little getaway to reflect on this and take you with me. I'm sure you can relate to this. The beginning of this year, I had all these massive goals. Get to 1 million subscribers, build a thriving community that moves mountains, start dating again. And I was so committed to it. I made a video in January saying we're gonna upload more often, not worry about the views, focus on the community. 9 months passed, and I didn't do any of it. I wasn't lazy. I made all these videos, I worked really hard, but I didn't work on the things I said I was gonna work on. I got sidetracked by shiny views, caught up in perfectionism, uploading once a month, trying to go viral every time. And the exact same things I was struggling with in January that I wanted to fix then, 9 months later, I'm in the exact same spot. I'm behind. Now what's that thing for you? Maybe something you've been putting off, or just an exciting goal that if you achieved it, you'd feel like you're on track with who you want to be. And maybe you'd stop feeling behind in life. A lot of people would say, don't be so hard on yourself. You'll always feel behind because it's never enough. You just have to be happy with where you are. And I think that's true in some ways. But recently I learned something really interesting. I think it's raining again. I have big goals. Based on that, I have very high expectations of myself. And oftentimes I fall short, where I say, I'm gonna get these 4 things done today, and then I only get 2 or 3 done, and I feel behind. And you'd think, well, you'll always feel this way. Just lower your expectations because they're probably unrealistic. And that may be true for some people. But then there are days where I kick into another gear, and all the things that seem too much initially become possible. And I really, really try. And either I get everything done, or I get most of it done, but I feel so fulfilled on these days, and so proud of myself. It just feels like absolute bliss, because I left it all out on the field. And if I'm being honest, the other days, I thought I was doing my best, but I wasn't really. I think it all comes down to expectations versus reality. I have big goals, so the expectations of myself are very high. And reality is simply whether I'm living up to that. Whenever the expectations of yourself and how you're living matches, you're in alignment, in integrity. And it just feels great. It feels like absolute bliss to me. I know a lot of people feel behind because they compare themselves to others, and it just creates these unrealistic expectations that aren't accurate, that they can never meet. And for those people, yes, they have to set realistic expectations. I'm very clear on my goals and what it takes to get there. And when I feel behind, it's because I'm not sticking to my commitments. I'm not in alignment, I'm not in integrity, I am behind. Now, do you have the sense that you're behind because your expectations are just way too high and unrealistic? Maybe. How could you find out if your expectations are too high? For the next 90 days, you give it your all and you try to meet them. You and me and the Driven community. From this video, I want you to leave with a plan to make the next 3 months incredible. If you're feeling behind in life, great. Let's do something about it. I want to make it serious about this for the rest of the year and finally do all the things that I said I was going to do. Really serve you guys, help you achieve your goals, and kickstart this community because I believe in it. There are so many of you out there who are longing for connection and community and like-minded people who are setting goals and want to achieve something. Let's do that. There's probably not going to be the biggest amount of views. I don't care anymore. Let's make the next 3 months incredible. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Our capacity is so much bigger than we think it is. There's another level. There's a version of ourselves out there that is waiting to be awakened, doing all the things that we said we're going to do, overcoming all the obstacles, and being happier in the process than ever because we're living in alignment. We're doing what we said we were going to do, and we can do this together. I've noticed there are 4 reasons why I fell behind this year, and if we fix those together, over the next 90 days, we're going to absolutely crush it. And my first mistake was that I was just kind of winging it. I had a goal to post more often and focus on the community. What I didn't have was a clear plan. I had some plan, but it wasn't clear enough. It's like looking for a treasure in the middle of nowhere. The more accurate the map is, your plan, the more likely you are to achieve it. Once you have a plan, what's necessary to actually achieve it? It's a simple equation of inputs and outputs. The output being your goal and the inputs being the work and effort and resources required. When I had Hormozi on the channel a while back, he said to me that most people heavily underestimate the work that's required to get the result, which I know I did. If you want to build $1 billion company, that requires certain inputs. If you want to be a great parent, that requires a different set of inputs. If you want to build $1 billion company and be a great parent, that requires very demanding inputs. But it's possible. If you have a plan and you know what's necessary, the next question simply becomes, are you willing to do those things? Because you might not be. I think you can achieve anything if you do whatever it takes. You do the input, you get the output. For example, you could lose 30 pounds by tomorrow morning. You just have to cut your leg off. You're probably not willing to do that, right? What are you doing with the axe? Jessica, this is a great shot. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So I actually made a list of what I'm willing to sacrifice and what I'm not willing to sacrifice. What I'm not willing to sacrifice is my health, good sleep, deep friendships. What I am willing to sacrifice is my dating life at the moment. But the perfectionism I hadn't sacrificed yet. That was a necessary input, and I didn't do it. If you define what's necessary, you then need to surrender to what's necessary. The last thing I was missing is this text message to my friends. If I don't make 10 more videos this year, I will spend $10,000 on an all-expenses paid trip for you guys to go to Disney World or a theme park of your choice. All $10,000 must be spent, and I won't join. As soon as I sent that message, it was done. I knew I was gonna make it, and I'm not gonna fail now. There's no chance I'm letting these guys go to Disney World without me. Especially the without me part is what hurts the most. Accountability and stakes like this make it so much easier to achieve your goals and so much more fun. When I have my back against the wall like this, I become alive. If I had done all of these things, I would be so much further ahead right now. But damn it! But we still have 3 months left, so let's not waste them. So, what's your goal for the last 90 days? Just one meaningful goal with a powerful why, starting from October 1st to December 31st. For me, it's do what I said I was going to do 9 months ago. 2 videos a month about this series and kickstart the movement of the Driven community. For accountability, you can watch the series, just follow along. You can also ask a friend to join you to hold you accountable, or we have weekly accountability calls with our community for the next 90 days. So join us if you like, it's free, but we're still very intentional with who we let in because we want people who are real, who show up with their real faces, who are committed and also add value to other members. And maybe I want to feature some of your stories. So if you have a meaningful goal, a strong why, then send it to this email address with a video of you. Maybe you want to run a marathon to raise money for someone you care about, or confront your childhood bully, or get out of a tough situation that you're in. And I think this is what Driven is about.
What's up, Leon?
Yo, what up, brother?
Are you in for the 90-day goal setting?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I'm in. I'm always in.
I'm ready, baby.
Driven is about a group of people who have a vision for themselves, a goal, that help each other achieve it. We all have our own separate goals, but we're all in this together.
Currently at like 210 pounds, so I want to get below 195. Cutting out alcohol.
My first 10K month.
I want to get halfway through the deep learning course.
Driven is about finding your like-minded people, your ambitious weirdos that don't fit in because, yeah, sometimes we are a little bit crazy.
I'm gonna beat all you guys. Is it a competition?
And Driven is about not using vowels because it's cool. I'll put a link below with more resources on how to join and how to set your 90-day goals. Thanks for being part of this, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay driven.